So this show will highlight a multitude of topics as it relates to the Black non-heterosexual lens. I did a synthesis of a bunch of different search results on platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, hashtags, social media platforms, everything, and I could not find anything of the sort. And I know that I needed a me when I was growing up, and I need a me now, honestly, and I still can't find a me. So I'm going to provide me out to the world. So the recording of this show will happen in two methodologies. One through this camera, and sometimes it'll be a mix of this. Okay, so I'm gonna run through real quick about my identities that way, but we're gonna hurry up and get them over with real quick. I don't wanna hash on them forever. I know this is like boring. You're like, oh, I could probably have put this in the description, but I want to say it while you have my face attached to it so that you can get a feel for who I am. So just to highlight on some of my open and explicit identities as I express out in the open, I identify as Black. I come from a bi-color and bi-ethnic household. I'm non-heterosexual, specifically Androsexual, which means that I am attracted to masculinity, whereas with binary of heterosexuality and homosexuality and everything that exists in between and all around the spectrum. A lot of it is rooted in the sex or the anatomy of the individual. So if you are heterosexual, that means that you are attracted to the anatomy and gender presentation of the opposite sex. And if you are homosexual or of the likeness, then that means that you are attracted to anatomy and aspects of that. I am more attracted to a gender presentation. Anatomy is not that big of a deal to me. If you are masculine, then that is my baseline and foundation for attraction. And then I have other different sociological and attraction magnetics and aspects and things that I look for after that. So these episodes are going to be organized and called uploads. So upload episodes, just think of it as the same way, but I didn't want to call them episodes because I feel like episodes have an established baseline of a temporal or time continuity, and it follows that. This upload is based largely on sociological topics and are organized as such and do not have any type of time continuity because they happen at different points in my life, and all different points in my life are organized at different aspects. And especially when you talk about existential identities and experiences, there's no way that everything's going to be all organized as such. So the show is going to be called The Thought Pattern, and it's rooted in a journal and diary that I write only daily, sometimes multiple parts throughout the day, honestly, sporadically, whenever I have these thoughts. And it's literally, I call it The Thought Pattern. I organize it based on time, the year, and then I put whatever day it is periodically if I feel as though time is a factor in impacting when I would have the thoughts or when the thoughts come about. It's based in Google Docs, which is a mobile G Suite, Google Suite, and that way if I'm out and about, I have my phone with me, or if I just have a random sporadic thought, or if I'm on a laptop, I can do it and write down and contribute to it whenever I have a thought anywhere, because I normally always carry my phone with me, or if I carry some type of mobile device, especially since I founded my own college, so I almost have to have a mobile device with me at all times because whenever the college works all the time. Okay, so now let's get into the first episode. At the time of this recording, I have had 25 years of life, in which I spent 20 to 21 years of those in the closet, which to deconstruct that term, in the closet, meaning that you do not fully express all aspects of your identity, or even reveal aspects of your identity out of fear of some type of social retribution, social exclusion, physical or existential harm. 21 divided by 25 is 0.84, which means I spent 84% of my life not even being able to openly express and explore aspects of who I truly am. So that truly, to give you a painted picture, when you think about my open and expressed nature, I truly am only honestly like 3 to 4 years old. Now, of course, that negates other aspects of social development, things of that nature. I have obviously had other contexts of social constructs that I've been able to absorb and think critically about, but in terms of being able to exist transparently and authentically as I am, without or with little fear of, and that fear still exists, like the danger still exists, but the fear I have deconstructed and just said, if I die, I die. With that danger now going into the identity, really highlights and critically speaks on how welcome or lack thereof I feel in these spaces. So what is it like in the South, North, different regional parts of the United States and other parts in other nations that I've been to that are related to my Black non-heterosexual ass? So again, areas and regions, any landmass with people in general, are constructed of and have people in them. People are a culmination of experiences, and these experiences are largely rooted in sociological constructs, contexts, and various ways in which they have been structured. So people absorb through many different elements, aspects of that. That's just an underlying foundation to show you that while region does play in a lot of the implicit and explicit discrimination that may go on within certain identities, they exist in places throughout the globe. So a lot of people draw the South line at different borders, but officially speaking, in terms of going back in history to the Confederacy and things of that nature, Virginia downward, in terms of the southern U.S., was the South. I was born in Virginia, Hampton, Virginia, lived in Newport News, lived in Gloucester, and then moved down to Atlanta, Georgia when the recession hit, because my father had worked in real estate and obviously lost his position. So I had lived in the South for all of my life, and the southern United States, at the time of me saying this, was very religiously infused, specifically Christianity based, and a lot of those Christianity interpretations were outside of the text of the Bible and took their own sociological constructs and holds, one of which was the centering of heterosexuality, and anything else is othered and constructed as wrong or criminal and thus justified for exclusion and abuse. Out of survivor's mode, so to speak, really speak critically about any of these identities, even though I knew in my mind, behind my eyes, that I had these attractions since about second grade. I did not speak critically on them, which means I did not have a chance to explore them as I needed to. If I was open and expressive and authentic in my identity, then other people could have reacted to me with their level of transparency and authenticity, knowing these identities. Some people may have shared some things that they wouldn't have shared. Some people may have come out to me in spaces that they would not have felt comfortable in. So there are a lot of people and experiences that I did not have a chance to have because I did not have a chance to be open and explicit in this space. When I lived in the North, it was not that much different. Society is a construct, and then you can deconstruct different identities and places and spaces in that nature. And even within the Black community, Black communities are strongly impacted by white heteropatriarchal forces, including religion and those Southern societal constructs throughout all of Blackness, both domestically and non-U.S. nature. So non-heterosexuality is greatly frowned upon in many aspects. There were many compounded experiences that I had with my parents, with classmates, friends, teachers, all types of administrators who did not create an open space or a space in which I felt open to come out, which really means to be yourself in a space. You can always reach out to me anytime. My main outlet of communication is Instagram, so Instagram at College Founder for the time being, until I switch it. I do feel like my College Founder is but one aspect of my existence, so maybe I'll switch it one time to embody the full aspect of my beautiful spirit and my beautiful everything. But for right now, it's at College Founder. You can reach out to me anytime. I know for a lot of individuals, I am the only person, especially from my identity standpoint, that they have like this. So I want to be a friend for you. Whatever way you need to feel connected and have that connection and feel like you have a person like that in your life, reach out to me to have that.